We missed you guys. We missed you so much. We decided to record another episode.
Why not?
Why not? Hey, Joe, it's been a while, brother. Life is happening. Life happens.
Life happens. Yes.
I be Calvin Smith, and that's Joe Carlos, and we are the Open Tabs Podcast. We're back with a season 3, episode 3.
That's all I got. I was gonna have another beat, but that's all I got.
Hey, Joe, I'm gonna tell you, man. I picked up in a little break in between. I picked up a frother for my coffee.
Okay.
Excellent addition to my. I feel like I'm a barista now. I can make just about anything. I can make your lattes. I can make your espressos. I can make your cappuccinos. Yeah.
You're a man. You're a cosmopolitan man. You're a sophisticate. You're a sartorialist. It falls in line with all the other enthusiasms that
enthusiasms.
Yeah, enthusiasms. I said that on purpose. that are important to you. Yes. And so it's no surprise whatsoever that you got a frother. I'm shocked it took this long that you got the frother, but I'm sure you'll put it to amazing use.
Oh man, I'm just thinking of various and sundry ways to make coffee drinks and and other uses. Uses.
Yeah. Of course.
How you been, man?
We've been rocking and rolling, man. Most worst fantasy year for me ever. In my 15th year of playing fantasy football, the absolute worst year of fantasy ever for me. But probably should have started Cousins tonight instead of the Aaron Rodgers on Sunday. From what I saw, Cousins was looking good. I mean, I've only won 3 games, so it doesn't matter, I guess, in a sense. But there's always pride. So,
Joe,
other than that,
guess who I left on the bench tonight? Just guess.
Jefferson?
The other one.
Cook?
Correct. I don't know how that ended up happening. I think I went straight with the NFL.com projections and
who are you starting against? Who are you starting against?
Man, like Tevin Coleman or something. I don't know, man. It's all bad.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. This season's a wash. Do you guys have like a punishment for the last place team?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's not da 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 da. Is that the league? Season one of the league is special.
Yes.
I was so hooked on it.
Yes.
While making peanuts at the University of Georgia, I was so hooked on it that I bought the season. It probably must have been on sale. Back when I bought the season on iTunes for like $9.99, and I watched it. It was I watch it so many. I've seen that season. I could probably recite every line. Of season 1.
And there are some memorable ones.
Agreed.
Taco's birthday song.
Taco. That's really where I was going. It's your birthday today. Yeah.
That's all we can sing of that.
It is.
I mean, technically, I rate all of our shows as explicit, so we can probably say whatever we want to say.
Yeah, but I'm good.
I think my mom still listens. Mom gave up on Norbit, by the way. She's like, I can't. She didn't. That's the first time she's told me she didn't like a movie. So
I understand.
Yeah,
it's understandable.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. I'm also struggling. I think that the 2 teams below me are guaranteed last place, luckily. But in the league that I paid the most money for, there's a punishment in our next live draft. We do a live draft in whatever city the winner chooses.
Nice.
It's been in Vegas 2 of the past 3 years. So at any rate, the loser has to wear a monocle, a sash, and a top hat at the the locale where we draft, which is usually like
Mr.
the
Planner.
topless pool somewhere. Yes, correct. Like Mr. Planner.
Classy.
Very classy. So I'm just trying to avoid being Mr. Monocle. That's
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
But in the league where I commish, I'm it's all bad. So anyway, I guess
I'm sorry, brother.
We said enough about that. You have any shout outs to give to anybody or anything like that? Do you want to recognize anyone?
No, I'm good. Okay.
Fair enough. I went to a drug rep dinner not too long ago for Cologuard. Cologuard is a wonderful. I usually don't like to shill for drug companies, but so many people are afraid of getting colonoscopies, and Cologuard is a very, very, very good proxy for at least people who are low risk to try to at least get them as an entryway into it. So at any rate, Lucas and Becca from the dinner, we had a great time, and the Open Tabs podcast became one of the topics of discussion. So
of course.
Lucas is a big Wisconsin fan. We were talking some football when I was inclined to do such things. I'm no longer inclined to do such things. So.
Come on. Okay.
We're still alive. Yeah. So you're telling me we got a chance? Yeah. We got a pretty good chance, but
there's a chance. A very good chance.
It's a very good
Absolutely.
chance. At any rate, shout out to them, and anybody else that's been listening. We got some faithful listeners out there. Tonight we're going to
actually I do want to give a shout out to I saw a trailer for Showtime.
Okay.
I believe it's called Showtime. It's it's probably not called Showtime because I'm sure HBO would not call a series Showtime. As I say that aloud, it makes all the sense in the world that they would not do that. So let me see what it's called. Actually, it's called Winning Time. Yeah, because they couldn't call it Showtime.
Okay.
So it's called Winning Time.
Okay.
About the ride.
Yeah. Is it based on Perlman's book?
I believe so. It's on the rise of this is Jerry Buss and Magic, and Norm Nixon's son is playing Norm Nixon, and a newcomer's playing Magic. I mean, I'm sure there's a Rambus in there. You got Adrian Brody playing Pat Riley.
Nice.
Jason Segel playing Paul Westhead. I mean, this is going to be. I don't know. I think it's 10 episodes. HBO every now and then. They know what they're doing, and they spend the money, and the forum looks like the forum, so there's no difference. So, but yeah, man.
Well, maybe this will be an anthology because Perlman. And this is definitely. I just looked it up. It is definitely based on the Perlman book, which is amazing.
I hope that it's not. I hope where you're going is not what I think.
Oh, you already know Hey, you know what should be next, brother.
Boys will be.
Hey, look, I just want them to make sure they nail
the White House
dance, the dance, 88 touchdown dance. That's all I want. I got to see the playmaker.
I think. Well, let's see how this one goes. I think, given the amount of drugs in 1980s LA.
Mm-hmm.
And how how much of a part of the culture it was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see, and I'm sure there's scripts out there, but I'm curious to see if then Perlman could get a Cowboys, like something called America's Team, or how about them Cowboys? Yeah. How about them Cowboys?
How about them boys? How about them Cowboys? How about them? How did night degraded to just how about them boys?
How about them boys? Yeah.
Ichabod.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on that night. We got out of there, fortunately.
We did. Okay, Joe. Well, take a trip with me. Take a trip with me to. It's actually very fortuitous that we pushed this back a little bit because we're almost at the release date. So December 16th, 1999.
Wow, man.
December 16th, 1999.
The Pantheon Cup. Your quarterback.
The greatest show on turf was running the NFL at this time. I know, man. I know.
But remember Tampa Bay was pretty strong that year too.
Yeah,
I
oh
don't know
yeah.
if you're
Bert Emanuel and Sean King. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah.
The real Sean
Allstott,
King. Oh, sorry, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. Allstott and what's his name? And
Ward
Ward
done.
Dunn,
Oh yeah.
Rondé Barber,
Yeah.
Derek
Young
Brooks.
Derek Brooks. Young Derek Brooks.
Yeah. So that was their first little taste,
Tony
little
Dungy.
glimpse. Yeah, it was their first little glimpse of what could be
Yeah. Yeah.
possibly.
They played the Rams to the very end, and really, I mean, if not for a call that had soon had its own rule name, the Bert Emanuel catch, it could have been something else.
So it's really interesting too because so as you know, since we're getting into the movie, we're downshifting into the movie. As you know, the Super Bowl that year was held in Atlanta, Super Bowl 34, which was an amazing game.
Yeah,
absolutely amazing game. Came in the last second.
Yeah,
and the city that you're in now.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine the impact and effect it would have had on the city had they won. Truly, I can't even imagine it. But it came down to a yard, Dyson, and we thought that was going to be the story.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the story.
Meanwhile, it's Tongue and Groove
and Otto's and Buckhead, all kind of things went down, and unfortunately, it took 18 years then for Atlanta to get another Super Bowl. Because of some craziness that happened that night. But still, it was a great game, and it was an interesting time. There was just a change in the league. Wherein you didn't have these dynastic teams playing for a Super Bowl, or as we say in this movie, a Pantheon Cup. It's just kind of interesting to talk about the upstarts and the flash in the pan new quarterbacks, journeyman quarterbacks,
out of nowhere,
like Kurt Warner was that year, out of nowhere. Sean King he wasn't a journeyman, but he was definitely toast of the town. I mean, I thought Kurt Warner was black. I didn't know. I think the way they were talking about him and how proud they were, I should have known that he wasn't necessarily, but I thought he was. And because of just the stories I was reading.
Wasn't there a running back for Seattle back in the day?
Yeah, but that was with a C. Yeah, that was with a C.
Okay.
Number 23, Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, yes. So December 99, man, and Y2K. I mean, there's a lot going on.
A lot going on, man, and so you had Oliver Stone released this film, man. It had a lot of hype, a lot of buzz, primarily because of the people behind you and many others. Hey, look, the star-studded cast. Any given Sunday, man. Any given Sunday, like. It was an event. We were looking forward to this movie, and we have thoughts on Any Given Sunday, man. So Joe, did you see Any Given Sunday at the theater?
Of course I did.
Okay,
absolutely. In Dallas, Texas. And
I was far north Dallas.
Posh far north Dallas, off 635, off of 75 Central. So North Dallas. I was way up top, North Dallas. But when I went to see it, the print got hot and I don't want to say exploded, but burned, and we had to leave.
It was too strong, man.
Too strong, too much Willie, and it was like right when they got to Dallas. Like we'd watched all the way up to Dallas, so they gave us all. I guess it was the last show of the night, so they gave us all passes to come back.
Okay.
And so I probably went the next day. I think I went the next day back. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I myself, for whatever reason, I didn't see it in the theater, Joe. I don't know what was going on in my life at that time. Yeah, I know, man. I this is like right during Christmas break. I could have easily gone to Magic Johnson Theater, or Lenox or wherever, what have you, and seen it, but I didn't. I don't know what was going on in my life. I'm trying to go back to, this is junior year for me. I think I was MCATing it. I think that's what was going on.
Okay.
I think I was MCATing it. So
It worked out.
I didn't. It did work out. It worked very fortuitously. I I love your face right now. I ended up.
And likewise. Likewise.
I ended up seeing it for the first time in the triplex. One of the many showings of Any Given Sunday in the triplex.
JC Love had it on DVD, and JC and I went to see the Atlanta Football Falcons on this past Sunday, and
it was memorialized on Instagram. I thank you for sharing.
No problem. As we watched Thomas Brady and the world champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers play, and we talked about. I said, "How did you have a DVD so fast? Like he had it by like February or March easily."
How did he?
He was trying to think. He thinks his sister had an advanced copy and sent it to him, but he had it, and he didn't have a lot of DVDs, so it wasn't like he was a Case Logic DVD guy. I mean, this was in its original case, which is one of those paper ones.
Yeah. The good
paper
old
ones with a little fold out.
Yeah,
I think it was New Line. I think it was New Line Cinema.
Yeah, that was all. That was the only way, unless it was one of like the New Line. They had a deluxe, like a whatever my
New Line always did
was.
New Line always did a little something more.
Yeah.
To if you remember the No Limit CD cases.
Yes.
It was part paper, part plastic.
Yes.
And that's kind of what this New Line. That's kind of what this. I vividly recall.
Oh,
it's kind of what this New Line DVD was like. Friday was like that too.
Yeah.
As opposed to the all plastic. As opposed to the all plastic one.
I'm looking at Money Talks right now, and it was in the same case.
It's funny. Case. It's funny. The children will never know. My daughter will never know about buying the CDs in the long cases until she one day
cases.
And I think we mentioned it on our Mo Better Blues piece, but until if you watch Mo Better Blues, you're like, what is he doing? Like you eventually learn not to go to the bottom of the CD case.
Yeah,
trying to get to this. Just pop the top, brother.
Yeah.
The rest of it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all.
No, it was just filler.
It was made that way to be able to be seen in the store.
Right.
As opposed
to be displayed as Sam Goodis.
Yes. or Tower or whatever else. But so you first saw it in the triplex on DVD.
I saw it in the triplex on DVD. Yeah, and I kicked myself. I was like, yo, I should have enjoyed and experienced this movie in the theater.
Yeah, it was special. It was special on the big screen. I don't want to rub that in, but I'm just saying it was.
No, you can tell.
Very loud.
You can tell. You could tell that Oliver Stone really wanted to make a spectacle, and did so.
It was a spectacle, and it was shot in a different way. That, well, we'll get to that.
Sure. Well, I mean, let's segue into that. So, little things, man. Let's talk about these little things. How they should be.
In the face. It was in your face. You're in Willie's eyes. You're hearing the smack talk right there at the line. It's not a debutante ball out there, a cotillion out there on the line at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
You hear that stuff. You see the interplay between up and coming stars, established stars, coaches, management. And I love the little things for me are all those relationships and how it's quote unquote part of a team.
Yeah.
I think one of the other little things for me is also just the great sound work that they did in this film.
Absolutely.
When you're in the first scenes, when they're there at the Shark Stadium, which is the now defunct Orange Bowl, which is now Marlins Stadium, you can hear the boos, and you can also hear the offensive coordinator. I keep wanting to say Eckhart. I hear an Eckhart, but I can't. Crozier.
Yeah.
You hear Crozier in the ear. I mean, it's just a lot. Like he took he took it there, man. Like you saw him running. You literally saw it as opposed to just watching it. It was very relatable and visceral. And so the little things for me are the amount of time that Oliver Stone took to make this thing as realistic as humanly possible, and
Yeah.
the user experience. He was really concerned with what we saw.
Sure. I
How
almost
about
did
you?
it. I think to your point, Joe, to the extent that the NFL does now, like I think that
Yeah.
they definitely, between this and playmakers, which I hope we can discuss a little bit.
Oh, playmakers.
Yeah, man. I think that those
Oof.
two things really had an indelible impact on the presentation of the game, uh, and to some of the things they were willing to do after this movie was released, to say, oh, that might be, something we can do. Between that and also XFL, like there's a lot of strong influences. But for me, I mean, to kind of segue into my little things, I think the how much of the current game of the NFL was predicted by this film,
A lot of
and
it.
the direction that the NFL, and particularly coaches in the NFL, took
Mhm.
towards development of players, towards like how they, like dealing with these younger players, the younger generation. I think that they really, really, like, it was spot on, and I think to the point that it was just like looking in a, like, a future gaze as to what the game was going to become. And I don't know how or why Oliver Stone had the wherewithal to do that, but it was amazing. I mean, it is amazing to look back on this film and to watch it. Like when I rewatched it to prepare for the podcast, to see like the play calling, all of it. I mean, just like, the improvising that Willie Beeman was doing. I mean, I felt like I was watching Mike Vick tapes.
Yeah,
And this is, I mean,
he was. Willie Beeman was Mike Vick.
yeah,
Back when Mike Vick was a sophomore, junior at Virginia Tech.
right, exactly.
He was
I mean,
he was definitely Mike Vick, without
and
question.
Tony D'Amato is a more enthusiastic Dan Reeves, as it were. I mean, he's just, it's kind of a relic
Yeah,
of his time,
yeah,
but he's kind of thrust into a situation with a rising star, and he has to do his thing, and
right.
so there's that aspect of it, and I think, I think Oliver Stone's casting, to get these people at their points in their careers, like all of these people at their various ups and downs, and putting them together, and having Lawrence Taylor and having Jim Brown, but then also having, LL Cool J, and having Jamie Foxx, and having
Mm-hmm.
Al Pacino and Dennis Quaid, and having, Cameron Diaz and Margaret. You know what I mean? Like,
Thank gosh. Yeah.
it's just like, I mean, like Lauren Holly and Leela Rashawn, all these people in this film, like at the right moment, the right, like, it fits so well. So for me, those were the things that really stood out, especially in a rewatch, preparing for the show, man. I'm amazed. I don't think I mean, they try to make these star-studded casts. I mean, you look at all the Marvel films and things like that, but like for a sports film like this, like it won't happen again. I don't think.
Probably not. No,
Yeah,
probably not. I mean, there's only a few directors that can do that and
yeah,
bring them together
yeah,
for something that wasn't an action film or sci-fi.
yeah.
So
Or some sweeping epic.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, I think Spike could do it,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm so sorry. I think Spike could do it, but I think that you know, it's like him and Spike.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
Spielberg.
yeah,
Could do it.
yeah. Spielberg, I
Spielberg.
mean,
If he said, "I want to make a movie about the NFL,"
yeah.
then would you're not going to be in the Steven Spielberg? Like,
Oh no,
come on.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it.
Even I mean, you're not going to be in it. Like, you're not going to be in it, even if
Oh yeah,
it's. I got 32 seconds. I'm going to be part of this
yeah, sure,
because it's Steven Spielberg. But I think
sure.
that's partly what it was with Oliver Stone
Yeah,
as well. I believe the film before this was Heaven and Hell, which was,
yeah. He finished up his trilogy of
oh
Vietnam movies. Yeah.
God, that was a horrible film. Painful to watch. And if you recall the drama surrounding this, let's talk about that.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
I told you the story. I was in Miami like a medical conference of some sort, the
Yeah.
AAMC or something, and like it was roiling men, and I had no idea. And I'm on South Beach, and I ran into to Jamie Foxx, who's with his little entourage, and I mean, later on, LL Cool J's rolling down the street was like Ice-T for whatever reason. I don't know why Ice-T is there. But yeah, man. I mean, it was controversial. It was always some drama.
Well, I was going to get to the casting
Oh, okay. Yeah,
before that.
Yeah.
Before
Sure.
that, the fact that this was going to be Sean Combs, and
Oh, yeah, that's
and
right.
and Stone really wanted him to be in the film, but then he'd had some problems, and it just didn't work out, and I don't think it's nearly as good with Diddy.
No.
Not then.
No.
No. To be honest with you, I don't think it's nearly as good as.
No, I don't either. I don't either. I forgot about that, Joe. And you talked to me about this. Yeah. That casting was a little bit of a miracle, man. The fact that Diddy wasn't available and wasn't able to do it,
right.
And the fact that you get, I mean, and who knew? If you told me in '99, after watching several seasons of In Living Color and Bait and Held Up, all those movies that Doug Williams was clowning them for.
Bait.
That Jamie Foxx is going to be like a quadruple threat Oscar winner. Like, no way.
It's funny.
He had some singing chops. He would sing every now and again on In Living Color. But I mean, woo.
I've watched Held Up like more times than I care to admit.
Okay.
It's a sweet little film. It's very interesting film.
Okay.
Where he plays Diddy in the film. The kid thinks he's Puffy.
Huh.
Kind of funny.
I'm gonna let you know, Joe. I've never seen Held Up.
That's to your own detriment. You need to mess with that. You need to mess with it. Did you ever see Breaking All the Rules?
Yeah, once or twice.
I still don't understand that movie.
I've caught it on cable, and yeah, it's just kind of like
I don't know what Peter McNichol was. I don't get that. I don't understand that at all. He bit through his hand for Gabby Union. I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah,
I truly get that. But I don't understand the movie. But yeah, I mean, Jamie took the opportunity and knew what to do with it.
Yeah,
much like Willie Beeman.
Yeah. And
then 4 years later, he has an Oscar.
I like what you did there, Joe.
Thank you. I was trying to bring back.
I like what you did there.
No, but go talk about what you were going to talk about, the drama on set.
Oh, I mean, to that end, I mean, like, this well-documented beef between LL Cool J and Jamie Foxx,
right.
There, you got Bill Bellamy on set, and I'm sure he instigated things. I'm sure he,
a 90s Bill Bellamy.
90s Bill Bellamy, correct.
At the height of his powers, I'm fairly certain.
Yeah. Apparently, Al Pacino tried to break up the fight between LL and Jamie. I shudder to think what that was like. Al, as much of an on-screen presence as he has, he's not a large person at all. So to get between those two, I mean, again, I've been around both of those guys in person, and they are not small people. So,
it's funny though. If you look how short Al is in comparison to Jamie, and then LL towers over Jamie.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can only imagine. I mean, literally, the picture behind you is it shows the height.
Yeah, no matter how they try to do a perspective, like Jamie's gonna always be taller. Yeah. Joe, who are your unsung heroes in the film?
Well, the football players.
Okay.
The real ones.
Okay.
So T.O., he never had a line, but he caught a lot of passes. Oliver Stone is a big Niners fan.
Yeah.
And so you're a real NFL fan, though, if you understand why I said that.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
so
yeah.
I'm not going to explain it any more than I just said.
Yeah. If
So you do the math
yeah,
of
you watch the
when the film
movie
was
and
made.
you
Yeah, you do the
yeah,
math,
yeah,
and
all that.
you
Yeah.
know, if you notice, he recreated the catch that put To on the map
Yeah.
in that playoff game with Mooch. The only reason Mooch has a job today, that
Yeah.
playoff game with Mariucci,
He had dropped everything prior to that.
caught that ball.
Caught that one
Uh,
when it mattered.
yeah, and now he's in the Hall of Fame. So no, but so To to a very lesser extent.
Yeah.
But also, of course, Lawrence Taylor
Yeah.
as Shark LeVay.
Yeah.
I thought every word he said was timely, and his speeches were beautiful.
Yeah.
And he just reminded me of what was probably like if you went to Charles Haley's house in like
Yeah.
'95
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
'94.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't. Or Randy White and Harvey Martin and Ed Tutal
Yeah.
Jones
Yeah.
in like '76
Yeah.
or '77. No, '78 after they'd won it. Oh Lord. It was supposedly debauchery for the sake of debauchery. I read Harvey Martin's book when I was like 9. I should not have read that book. and
I should not have read that
I
book.
should not have read that book.
I love it.
Then at 10 or 11, I read The Color Purple. That was probably as abhorrent
Joe, you were
as The Color Purple.
Hey man, adult situations.
Dear God.
No adult situations, Carlos here.
Dear God. It was sitting in the house. But I thought Lawrence Taylor was amazing in that.
Yeah.
Also, and also Jim Brown, man.
Yeah.
He had such beautiful speeches, and I thought, again, the brothers came to play.
Yeah.
They realized the opportunity that they had, and they took full advantage of it.
Yeah.
And so it's not like when Sam was talking to Leo, and Leo was having a problem saying the N word, and he's like, "Man, it's just Tuesday for us, man. We actors."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, but I'm landing this plane here, and that's a Tarantino thing, right? So in other words, we're going to give it our all because it's a Tarantino thing, and Quentin, Quentin's only made so many films, and so this is the same thing with Oliver Stone, man. You're in an Oliver Stone film. You have lines. Your storyline is important to this narrative, to what we're trying to share.
Yeah,
you're going to come with it.
Yeah,
and they did.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Joe. I think that's a great choice. The acting. I mean, you don't even think about those players as football players. I mean, they really turn in great acting performances.
Yeah.
In the film. For me, it's the two doctors, Dr. Harvey Mandrake and Dr. Ollie Powers, and the interplay between us two. The great actor, horrible human being, James Woods.
Yeah. Thank you for doing that right.
Great actor, horrible human being, James Woods. Just an incredible performance by him as Dr. Harvey Mandrake. I mean, just look at the whole Tyrod Taylor situation. That was a Harvey Mandrake doctor. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, these team doctors. Once you get a lot of money into the, and I know a lot of physicians that take the Hippocratic Oath very seriously and do their due diligence and do right by people. But you would be naive and a fool to believe that every physician is that way. And unfortunately, there are a lot of doctors who cut corners, who do things for the sake of the business as opposed to for the sake of the patient. And Harvey Mandrake was that guy to a T, and he just nails. I mean, again, especially when I was working as a hospitalist, you get to interact with a lot of different fields of medicine. Yeah. And I saw a lot of Harvey Mandrakes out there, but to the larger point, I also saw a lot of Ollie Powers out there. I saw a lot of people that were willing to go and whistle blow and do the right thing by people, and ultimately end up that ends up happening the way it happens, but those two doctors really, I mean, I had the rose-colored lenses of seeing it from a doctor's point of view, but I really, really enjoyed those two performances quite a great deal. In this film, ostensibly about football players and about the game of football and the love of football, but as I explained to a lot of my patients that are in a lot of pain, a lot of these players wouldn't be able to play without the interventions of these doctors. I have a couple former NFL players that I take care of as patients. I'm privileged to take care of, and I mean, these guys literally put their bodies on the line and deal with a lot of PTSD, deal with a lot of issues related to that. So it's interesting to see that played out so accurately on film. Again, to Oliver Stone. This is our first Oliver Stone film, man, but
I know.
Certainly not the last. And he when he's on his game, man, very few better.
I agree, and I think he was here.
Yeah.
I think he definitely was here. I want to also say something about the interplay with the doctors there, Harvey and Ali. There's this, when Harvey gives his speech to Coach D'Amato, and he says everything, it's over, and he speaks so well of the so highly of the athletes, and then he motions to his girlfriend. He's like, "Come on, let's go," and she says, "No, Harvey, I'm going to stay." He's like, "All right, I don't know if you remember the next line, but I don't know if you recall the next line."
You gotta remind
me. He says, "Okay, well, get drilled by 10 Neanderthals in."
Oh,
and he walks off. And it's not exactly what he said, but he walks off. But he does call them Neanderthals, and it's very interesting to me because I think that was James Woods in real life, piercing through. It's very interesting to me.
Yes, very much so.
That dichotomy, though, in the one moment he's talking about how much he respects these guys for what they do, and then the next second they become Neanderthals when it comes to possibly betting betting his girlfriend. So if her wanting to stay around the guys. Which 10 minutes ago was him.
Yes, BF'd. I forgot about that. Yeah. Get BF'd.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, that always kind of stuck in my head, like, huh?
Yeah.
But another little thing is all the cameos. Wyatt Tittle and Warren Moon and of course Butkus and I know I'm missing and Unitas.
Yeah.
In there
the opposing coaches, like
as opposing coaches, and then and also then Heston playing the Chuck Heston playing the commissioner.
Of course.
I mean that was just like wow, so I like those cameos a lot too.
Yeah.
You said you mentioned the cast, but I mean that's just another level.
Yeah.
And of course they're watching Ben-Hur, and then then later he's the
he's the commissioner. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Little homage to him in the film there.
Yeah. I Amy Trask was the woman's name that I was trying to think of.
Trask. Yeah.
So we talked about the kind of leaning into the future of the game. To make the bold, I must just say it was a bold move on Oliver Stone's part to have Cameron Diaz as the former owner's daughter, the deceased owner's daughter, who now runs the team.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, we still obviously have not made the strides in terms of women and equity in terms of jobs in the NFL.
Nope.
Certainly they are capable of doing great things.
Yes.
But Oliver Stone had, he went there, and she was dealing with sexism and people, underestimating her ability, her intellect.
And she owned the team.
She owned the team, but she was in the mold of Al Davis. I mean, like, again, Al Davis owned the team, but also had a keen football insight, and she had a keen football insight.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I look at the portrayal of Christina Pagliacci in comparison to the portrayal of. You ever see the movie The Draft or Draft Day? Draft Day.
Draft Day with Kevin Costner.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Jennifer Garner.
Yes.
She's. It's essentially, the evolution of that role without some of the baggage of being, the owner GM, which that's Al,
Yeah.
that's Al Davis. That's
Jerry.
That's Jerry. But it was interesting, how she had a great mind for the business side of it, knowing everyone's salary and how to make it work and all that kind of stuff. And obviously that's the GM, that's what GMs do. And so it was interesting if you look at these two performances of these women who are doing the work of the NFL teams. It's really kind of interesting just to see how they kind of bookend or mirror, or at times are totally different.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So you have any favorite scenes? I know you do.
My favorite scene in the film, I've got two.
Okay.
But my favorite, and they're in succession. Pretty much. My favorite scene in the film is I could three. Golly, I'm sorry, as I said.
Hey.
Okay, number one. I'm just going to shut up before I think anymore. Number one favorite scene is when Shark talks to Willie in the steam room, and it seemed like it was Lawrence Taylor reaching out to a young Black man and talking about stardom and living your life a certain way.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like. It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. I agree.
That's number one. Number two is the lunch with Tony and Willie at Tony's place.
Yeah.
Just that conversation was beautiful. I mean, Oliver Stone with those extreme close-ups. Tony's crib was sick.
Yeah.
And I'm always wondering, like, would a coach call you over to have dinner? But I remember stories about Jimmy and Troy, and they weren't getting along because he was starting his college quarterback, Steve Walsh.
Yeah.
And they weren't getting along, and so they figured out a way to get along. And I'm sure it took some meals, and some beers. But I know it definitely had a lot to do with fish. So that was one of the things that they did. But so that was number two. And then the third scene was when he saw Vanessa in the he's on a date, and he sees his ex-girl, Leela Rashawn, and he follows her through the restaurant and goes into the bathroom, and he says,
Dallas is going for it.
Yep. I don't know what's happening here.
Sorry, and the ladies in the bathroom, he goes, "Oh, Barbara Bush, where you been all my life?" He's like, "Where you been all my life? Looking good too." He said, "See, that's that smile. See, that's the smile I've been missing." He said, "I just wanted I could call you.
Yeah.
I just wanted I could call you."
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that Joseph Carlos in '99 didn't.
I would
stop those lines.
Yeah.
99 as an unattached.
That's some Henry. That's some Henry right there, as we say.
Spin that Henry. Yeah. I wouldn't say that I didn't use those same lines. In fact, I know I did in January of 2000. HK had a party, and I know I said one of those things once.
Yeah.
And that's the smile I've been. Thank you. I want to know I can call you. I just want to know I can call you.
And I don't even have to ask if it worked because I already know it did.
Well, beauty of it all. So here we are. But those are my three favorite scenes. What are yours?
So I was banking that you would say the speech, man.
I want to leave that. I left that. I mean, it's
okay. Fair enough. We'll talk about that later then, because
if that's yours, that's yours.
No. I mean, I think that it warrants a deeper discussion. I'll put it that way. So
okay.
The ending for me. as haphazard and crazy as it is.
That was dope, actually. Yeah.
It was. I love the ending. I love the announcement. Of I'm headed to the expansion team. Hey, just I was waiting on an Al Pacino moment like that in the film. You know what I mean? And we got that. Outwitting the owner GM that we were just praising, as it were.
Right.
It was just that was an amazing moment. I loved the party scene. For whatever reason, man. If I walk into and see that I hear that chainsaw revving up, you know what I mean? I'm all in for the rest of the night.
That was wild.
The scene with the wives and girlfriends. And to get back to Vanessa and her introduction to that, I think that cold dose of reality.
The power there what's her name? That Holly had. Holly had.
Oh yeah.
So much power. She didn't want to give that up.
It's Mean Girls before Mean Girls,
You're
bro.
a football player. You have at least 2 or 3 years like Cindy Rooney. That was her name, Cindy Rooney.
Yeah. She was my girl. Not Gretchen Wieners. Never when I need to remember Rachel McAdams' name in the movie, I can never do so. She was her. She was the leader of the Mean Girls. Yeah, she definitely is gonna kill me.
I wonder if Bartkowski's wife was that way, or I wonder if Matt Ryan's wife does that. But I mean, she's like the manifestation of the threat that they feel.
Yeah.
Is Willie keeping down his dinner tonight?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, man. Regina George, that's her name.
Regina George.
She was Regina George of the group. So yeah, man, those scenes actually, those are some of my favorite scenes. So let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about the speech, man. Did you end up doing what you said you were gonna do?
What did I say I was gonna do?
I thought you were gonna.
I was gonna record it. Purchase that piece?
Yeah.
I have not purchased that piece.
Okay.
By
the way, I know we have a lot of inside jokes. I want to explain one of them at the risk of getting into a little bit of trouble. But I'll say, when we talk about spitting at Henry, there's a gentleman that is well known at Morehouse. If you know, then you know, whose last name is Good Game. So
yes,
we spitting that Good Game. It's also known as spitting at Henry.
Yeah, spitting at Henry. Absolutely. I don't know what to say, really. It's the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble, inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here and get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I've made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. When you get old in life, things get taken away from you. That's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. But in either game, life or football, the margin of error for error is so small. 1/2 a step too late or too early, you don't quite make it. 1/2 a second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw our fingernails for that inch because we know when we add up all those inches, that's going to make the difference between winning and losing, between living and dying. I'll tell you, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I know if I'm going to have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch, because that's what living is. The 6 inches in front of your face. No, I can't make you do it. You've got to look at the guy next to you. Look in his eyes. Now, I think you're going to see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're going to see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team, because he knows when it comes down to it, you're going to do the same for him. That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team or we'll die as individuals. That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you going to do?
Joe,
Thank you.
letter perfect, pitch perfect. It was great.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I like to feel as though when he was talking about rat poisons and strychnine and such, as Nick Saban probably said a lot of these things to his team, and Kirby Smart didn't. Shout out to Smitty and C. Lee and JC and John J. Cox and Mayor Randall Whippen and the legion of all these. Who am I forgetting? I know I forget somebody.
That's pretty much the highlights right there.
Yeah.
Your classmate Hernando Carter.
Yeah,
Yes,
my buddy
your
from
classmate.
med school. My buddy John Marcel Burney and Jackie Perry and Ray and Erica Walker. All these different, man, and Gail.
Whole lot of roll tides out there, bro. Whole lot of roll tides out there.
We're gonna see him again. But hey Joe. I mean, like if you heard a speech like that, if Toe Johnson gave you a speech like that before a final, Joe, you would have written Tolstoy.
I would have needed 4 blue books. 4 blue books. He still would have given me a B, but I'd have written 4 blue books. I mean, we used to use this. So we used to use this. We had these 2-way pagers. And
SGA Mafia, baby.
SGA Mafia, yeah, 2-way pagers, and we'd be watching this movie in me and Randall's room. We'd be fine. And Chris Elders, we watching this movie, and Randall, we watched this movie, and I'd see these quotes, and I'd be like, man, this is it. Like this is the, like this is this right here. This between that and like Gladiator.
Yeah.
There was a lot of this rah stuff, but this speech, it was interesting because Jamie made fun, or Willie made fun of Tony's speeches, saying it was the same old kind of speech. But you could see just the way that Oliver, what'd you say? When Oliver Stone's on it, he's on it.
Yeah,
man, the way they cut that speech.
Yeah, that's perfect. So it cuts some different reactions to different players.
Lights, a little light Friday Night Lights before Friday Night Lights was even a thing.
Yeah,
it's like this prairie music that's playing during that scene. I mean, it's just that's it's football, it's cinema, it's the intersection of the two to perfection.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. I don't know what else to say about it. But Al being Al, it's one of my favorite Al's. It's one of my favorite Al speeches.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another one is like City Hall at the funeral.
Yeah.
They told me not to come here today. We love you, Lou Jamal. The city was a palace. But it's such a disappointment.
They told me
not to come here today. JC loves that. JC loves that one. Because he can't say Jamal, he said Jamal. He can't say Jamal. But no, this speech this was a guy who cared about his 55 guys.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
And they've been through so much. I don't think people understand that part. That these teams, the things these teams go through.
Oh yeah.
I don't think people understand that part. And
I'll give you an example. The Detroit Lions right now, right? I guarantee you, these guys, you can see how hard they fight every game.
They're not laying down.
They're not laying down. And a big part of that, I mean, it's the same team from last year. I would argue a worse team from a talent standpoint than last year.
Yeah, because they definitely went down a quarterback.
But they're giving so much heart and so much fight. to a coach that I guarantee you is very much like, and there's certain coaches that just, like Bill Parcells was this guy that you knew, as tough as much of a hard ass as he was to these guys, that he loved them, and he was giving wisdom to these guys and invested of himself, and they wanted to return it. They didn't want to let coach down. And then some coaches have it and some coaches don't. And it's real quick to see who it is that who it isn't. You know what I mean?
I don't know what happened, man.
Oh man, I was just saying that some coaches have it and some coaches don't, man. Like a Bill Parcells type, that players will knock a wall down for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's what they said about Coach Landry. But
I can believe it.
That obviously he loved his guys.
Yeah.
So the same thing obviously with Tony.
Yeah.
But I that speech is life to me, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I got whenever that scene, if I'm flipping and that's to sit there, and it's also a masterclass in acting as well, because I think obviously Al Pacino has not given away his money, but the other part, I think the other parts are relevant.
Yeah.
As well, and there was a little autobiographical in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And all the best acting is, man. All the best acting draws from some experience, So perfect, man. Perfect. So like, where does this movie rank for you, Joe, in terms of sports movies, or however you want to rank it? I'm just suggesting sports movies, but you can rank it wherever you want to rank it.
Man, I don't know. I'll put it this way. I always enjoy it. I always enjoy it. I don't know where it ranks. As a sports movie, it's one of my favorites. It's in my top 20.
Okay.
It's probably in my top 10.
Okay.
I think the reality, and you mentioned this earlier, the reality gives way to Playmakers, which was too real.
Yeah.
So real that the NFL.
Nah, brother.
We can't have that. We can't be doing the crack at halftime, and then you can't have the same sex relationship for our star receiver. So we do a sham marriage before somebody can sell a story.
Yeah.
Or they beat a guy up. All kind of crazy. I thought it was. It ranks highly for me. It's an enjoyable film to watch.
Sure.
I enjoy it really in the summertime. And I like to watch my football movies in the summer. So I watch Draft Day when I need a fix. Obviously, like a NFL fix. I watch this as well. So it ranks as one of my favorite sports films. As Oliver Stone movies, probably in the second tier of Oliver Stone movies.
I would agree.
Well, I don't know. If maybe in the second half of the top 10. I'll just put it that way. Okay. In the second half of the top 10. I mean, the man made JFK and Nixon and Platoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
but also Heaven and Hell.
Yeah, he did make Heaven and Hell. I've never seen Born on the 4th of July.
So, I'm a big fan of Tom Cruise, so I enjoy it for what it's worth. But
yeah, I've never seen it, so I've got to check that out. Because I never watched it. But where does it rank for you?
In terms of realism, it's way up there for me. I mean, a lot of sports writers who talk about movies also want to compare, the realism of movies and talk about, what seems real. I mean, you got people like Bill Bellamy who get approached by NFL players to ask him if he really played the game, which I think is the ultimate compliment. Like,
absolutely,
So I think that in terms of realism, it's up there. In terms of enjoyment, it's up there. It's in my top 5 probably of sports movies if I'm being, I'm thinking about like Rocky 3, which is probably my number 1 sports movie.
Got it.
Not I mean, it depends on your view on wrestling, how you feel, but the wrestler is up there, the fighter is up there for me. So
I like the wrestler. The wrestler was a good. I think Hoosiers is probably. For me, it's probably Hoosiers is still probably 1 or 2
Okay, that's fair.
for me.
That's fair.
And but you know, I'm nostalgic. I mean, that's the whole purpose of what we're doing.
Yeah, sure.
And so I had to think. I hadn't thought about that.
He got
Major
League's
probably my top 10.
Okay.
He got games probably my top 15.
Okay.
I still don't know what happened. I needed like 8 more minutes of filling out some of the characters. I just did.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure.
But and the fact that Jake he didn't sign it and Jake still had to do the time. It was like, man.
Yeah.
So Ned Beatty got off, like the warden, Ned Beatty or the governor, just like forget it.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah. Karate Kid is up there too. Now I think
There you go. There you go.
But yeah, man. And Happy Gilmore, underrated.
Tin Cup.
Bull Durham. A lot of great sports movies, but this is, I mean, it's still it to
Slapshot.
Slapshot. Yes. You ever seen Youngblood?
Of course.
Came on HBO quite a bit in our formative.
Yes, it did. You remember when she came upstairs with the teapot and the tea kettle, and he was in the bed with the other girl. Oh gosh, that was an ALNV because of the hockey.
Yeah.
That was an ALNV in the little booklet.
Yeah. You look forward to when Youngblood was coming out.
Yeah, me and my cousin would sneak watch Youngblood. Rob Lowe.
Yeah. A young Rob Lowe. Head injuries, baby. Yeah. So, all right, Joe. Well, it's the holiday season, brother, and you know what that means.
I do. I do know what it is.
I think it's time, man.
Okay. Well, you're up first. You're up first.
So
I know which one I'm doing. I know which one I'm doing.
I can't remember what our discussion was.
Are you
going with your Audible? Like the one that you've been watching a whole lot here lately that you Instagram?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
I really want to talk about,
I got another.
I really want to talk about that one.
Kill.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I really want to talk about that one, but I will save it for another day.
Which one is yours? What do you got?
Well, I mean, on my initial list, it was Home Alone.
Okay. But you don't want to do Home Alone.
I'm a table Home Alone. See Miles, you know, I know that was going to be dedicated to my pops because that's just that's his Christmas movie. That's Shay's Christmas movie. But I gotta go to Chicago, Illinois, and check in with the Griswolds, man.
I'm down. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Okay. Next week's the Griswolds. Okay.
Next week is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I'm brother.
Yeah.
See the story why. All it is Christmas Vacation. It's so crazy to me, like all the black music they had in those movies. All those guys.
Yeah.
They love some soulful.
But they love them. They love music. Them. Animal House, they love them.
It's so interesting. It's so interesting. Well, wait. One thing we did not mention though about Any Given Sunday.
Oh yeah, thank you, Joe. Please do.
Is the outro, which no one talked about. We also didn't say. We did not talk about the Metrics commercial. The Metrics commercial.
Oh, the Metrics commercial. Yeah. Okay. All right. Digress. Let's go back into Any Given Sunday real quick. So that Metrics commercial. Hey. Again, trend setting, man. Like, you know,
it was. He's a new breed. He's a warrior poet. That's what the writer. That's what the writer said.
That's what the writer said.
Another. How can I not? McGinley. He says he is. And let me tell you something. Darius Wade was our freshman phenom basketball guard.
Yes, he was.
And you could go back and find Maroon Tiger. For 99-2000, I literally wrote, he's a warrior poet, a new breed. I took it right from the movie.
Did anybody pick up on it? Did anybody say
no. Nobody's
They
crazy.
used to hurt my feelings when I would make a clear reference to something and nobody would like,
Yeah,
every now
too
and
much.
again you would hit me up like, yeah, I saw that. But
But I know. Same thing. I write a beautiful caption now. Nobody reads it. But what's gonna tell you? Okay, so so the metrics commercial was inflate your chest, drink metrics, and then the way he takes the straw, I don't know. He's crazy. He's absolutely crazy. Also, it's like the same 9 girls were throughout the film.
Yes.
They were always around.
Yes.
Because there's a woman who's at the party, at the mansion, at the dare party, at the mansion, who's also in the metrics commercial, who's also at the beach, who's also at the party at Shark's house. Like, what?
Didn't spend a lot on extras and
No, did not. And
Yeah.
then as I told you, one of the writers there when they were in Vizcaya at the end was also the guy who was parking the cars.
Yes, the valet.
The
Yeah.
valet at Sharks.
Yeah. You did. And I went back and looked and you were absolutely 100%, 1000% correct.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Hey,
But,
man, the soundtrack, brother.
Strong.
I forgot about Soul Sunday, man.
Yeah, I love Soul Sunday. I play that
Yeah.
my Falcon stories on Sundays.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sunday morning.
Make me feel.
So God day.
That's peak Outcast.
If you think about that, that's between Aquemini and Stankonia.
Yep, that's exactly it. That's exactly it, Joe. That's exactly it. That's peak Outcast. That's the literal peak Outcast.
It might have been their last song in the 90s.
Very well could be.
Quietly.
Very well could be. That soundtrack was amazing. It just
the song that doesn't get enough love.
Any Given Sunday.
It's Jamie singing Any Given Sunday. And the next time, look, we love you, loyal listeners. We really, truly do. The next time you watch Any Given Sunday, or if you've never watched Any Given Sunday, I'm sorry if you got this far. But the next time you watch it, please watch it all the way through the end of the credits.
Yeah.
So that you can hear Jamie sing Any Given Sunday as he drives around Dallas. And talks to the kids back and go to the Buick, turn around.
Go to the Buick. How many times have we said that out of context, Joe? Just in conversation with one another.
Hundreds.
Jesus Christ, man.
Hundreds. So sorry about that.
Oh, no.
I had to mention.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for bringing it back.
Of course, no problem.
Hey,
no, but I was gonna say, I will happily take that trip with you to Chicago or wherever they live, Evanston, wherever they live.
Yeah.
And not Calumet City. And
not Calumet City. No. not Calumet. Shout out to Reese.
Yeah. Shout out to Reese. Sweet Home Chicago. And and we will dive in for all the fun I have my Christmas movie ready for the week after that.
Okay.
We will dive in, and I look forward to it. I just watched it and I have no problem watching it again.
Actually, your Instagram was the impetus, dude. Like I was like, yo, man. And then my cousin had an adventure in setting his lights up. His long-standing lights weren't working any longer, so he had to. I
gotta go out there tomorrow. We have a karaoke Christmas party tomorrow, and I gotta go out there and put lights in the bushes, and I gotta be up in the tree, and I got a lot to do in the morning.
Good luck, Sparky.
So, thank you. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. I need it.
All right, Joe. Well, until the next time when we discuss National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, brother. It's been real. It's the Open Tabs Podcast. Guys, follow us, like us, subscribe, do all the interactive things with us. We really do appreciate each and every one of you guys taking time, whether it's on a trip or folding some clothes or whatever you're doing. to
Yeah,
listen
whatever.
to us, man, at 1.5 times speed or at regular speed, however you want to listen, man. We certainly appreciate it, and we're gonna keep it rolling, keep it rocking and rolling until the next time. We'll see you.
Peace.
Peace.